Many people who call themselves teachers are actually not teachers. I should be scared. And so then you're like, are you sure? Yeah, we understand it. Today we're going to talk about 4 points. Number 1, what is teaching? Number 2, how to get motivation from your students. Number 3 is how the teaching actually works, which includes 2 parts. So number 3 will be how to connect. Number 4 will be how to reinforce. Okay, so what is teaching? In my view, teaching is making somebody learn. If they didn't learn, it means you didn't teach. So many people who call themselves teachers are actually not teachers. They are maybe talkers. I don't know what they are, but if their students didn't learn, it means the teacher didn't teach. It means the teacher is not the teacher. But anyway, so that's my point. That's how we are going to approach this process, making people learn. Okay? So how do we learn? To learn, you need to have motivation. Okay, because there is new information and learning is requiring energy, right, from you. And so learning is an energy-intensive process. So there must be something important enough that you will spend the energy to learn, right? So it means that you need motivation. Your job as a teacher is to show why it's important. And for motivation, we can use the CBT approach, the cognitive behavioral therapy approach, which basically is like this. Every human, at every point in their life, analyzing this environment, people are asking themselves 4 questions. Question number 1, what's going on? Okay? Imagine you're in a forest, you hear a sound. What's going on? I hear a sound. Okay, what does it mean? And this is where humans are really, really good at, because unlike animals, humans are very good at finding meaning. And so, for example, in this situation, we may think, okay, there might be an animal that's making that sound. Then third point is, how should I feel about it? You think, okay, there might be a dangerous animal. How should I feel about this? I should be scared. And so then the next point is, what should I do is, well, you have to find what it was, right? Could be a squirrel, could be a deer, could be a bear, right? You don't know. And so this is how motivation works. And in terms of teaching, it kind of works like that. For example, you say, well, students, what is the difference? Like, okay, if it's older students, you can, and you are, let's say, teaching English, okay? And you are saying, what's this word? And you write election. And in Japan, there is a very high chance that they will say election, because in Japanese, there is no le, there is re. And so then you're like, are you sure? And then they're like, whoa. The teacher is kind of not saying yes. So what's going on? The teacher is not agreeing. It means I'm wrong. And then you can explain, well, actually, if you say that, that means completely different thing. And then the students are like, okay, so it means that if I don't know this, then I might mess up. I might be embarrassed in front of many other people. How should I feel about this? I should feel dangerous. I should feel nervous. What should I do? I should learn about what it means, how to avoid this danger of being embarrassed. And so that's the motivation to learn. Understand? And then the learning starts. Okay? So with the election situation, then teacher's job is to connect, to explain, to show. And the better you can show, well, the better the students can learn. And so if they don't connect, if they don't get this new information, then there is no hope for them to learn later. So how to do that? I use basically 2 approaches. This is not a full list, but this will give you a good idea. And so number 1 is multi-domain. Basically, you need to have them listen, have them say, have them feel it in their mind, have them see it happen. Understand? So basically, you have to cover different senses. You have to cover the eyes, the ears, the mouth, and the body feeling. Okay? So for example, if you're teaching math, you could use, I don't know, blocks. This is a creeper, by the way. You could use blocks for counting, right? Some people will prefer, like, let's say 1 + 3 = 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, yay, good job. But other people don't really care about that. They would be better off with, let's say, fingers. They say, okay, 3 + 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay, I learned 4. So it really depends on your students, and you have to know about that. The creeper's head doesn't go, okay. So that's how to do that. You have to explain whatever you are teaching in many different modalities. Okay, and one of good ways to also do that is if you can't really, if this is like abstract, you have to give an analogy that will be more tactile, so to speak. Many of the older sayings, they are based on actual like physical objects. Like, do you know the saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree? Well, what does it mean? It means actually an abstract idea that the children are similar to parrots. But the analogy is so literal. You can, if you've ever seen a tree, you know that the trees, the fruits, they fall down, right? They don't like fall away. So it means that you can easily understand it. And this is how you have to approach when you're teaching something abstract. You have to make it very visceral, okay? And so imagine that you did it, like election, erection, then you show how to do that, right? Then you show, no, la, 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 this is L, and then R, they are different sounds, so please don't do that. And then the last step, because, yeah, okay, yeah, we understand it, but they still can't do that. It's like, yeah, you can explain how to drive a car, but can you drive a car? No. So it means you have to practice, you have to internalize, and then you have your students practice. Usually the practice is best done not in the classroom, but at home, as homework. So the first set of practice, you have to give feedback. This is very important. They have to practice and you have to give immediate feedback. If you don't give immediate feedback, then the chances of them learning are very, very low, because you don't know if it's correct. It's like when you're riding a bicycle. Imagine you turn your wheel and then 5 minutes later, the bicycle adjusts. No, nobody can do that. The humans are not wired for that. And so you need to give quick feedback as people practice. But then they also have to do it at home by themselves many times until they learn. And like one bonus tip is spaced repetition. That's the best way to learn anything once you already understand it. Before you understand it, it's kind of doesn't matter how much you practice. If you don't understand it, if you didn't connect, it will not stick to you, right? But then once you got it, then spaced repetition is the way to go. So these are 4 steps how to make almost anyone learn almost anything. Number 1, you need to understand what teaching is. It's not about you teaching, it's about them learning, okay? Then number 2, you have to motivate it and use CBT approach, okay? Then the teaching starts. Connect by using multimodalities and analogies, and then have your students practice. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, do this, and I will see you next time.